Okay. Hey everyone. I'm just hopping on really quick. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Um, welcome to Be So Light. I am Priestess Makala 333 on Instagram. You can also contact me through my webpage, galacticspirallight.com. And I also have my private Facebook page as well. We've been busy getting ready to do another setup of portal work coming in October through the galactic calendar. And that's what we work through. So I'm on here because I don't know if you have noticed, but I have to talk about what happened on Monday. And I think I might have came on. I'm not sure. The days are starting to blur together. So I went to the bank on Monday to handle checks and stuff like that and take care of some banking. And when I walked in, it was really interesting to notice how busy it was in the bank. And I haven't seen that in quite some time. I mean, people were pulling money out and putting it into the little box things. I heard one doing the box, getting a box to put their money in, a safety box. Then I heard another one. They were trying to take money out of their bank account. I heard several were having problems trying to get into their bank accounts, that it wasn't letting them get into it. They were putting their codes in and it wasn't letting them get into their bank account on the weekend. And I was like, So I'm just, I make it my business to just kind of listen when I'm standing in line waiting for my turn to be, service or whatever. And I'm listening. So I paid attention to it, and then I just kept hearing, don't put all your money in the bank. Don't put all your money in the bank. And I said, I'm not going to. I'm going to leave a little bit in there, handle my bills, and then the rest of it, I'm going to wait to the very last minute to make a payment on certain bills. I'm going to wait till the last minute because game on. There's stuff happening. And Gina was just on and she was talking about it. And I said, I'm so glad she's talking about this because the energy, feeling the energy of what's happening, you feel this heaviness. Now, yesterday, we had clouds and stuff. We had clouds on Monday and clouds yesterday. And yesterday, there was a lot of plane jet stuff going on overhead, but you couldn't see the jets, couldn't see anything. And I was like, huh. And it was a lot of heavy booming sounds and things going on above. So I said, okay, so that's some dimensional stuff happening. We're supposed to act like we don't know what's going on. So, and the reason why I'm saying this is because there's just so much energy going on the planet, and one of the I can't remember the lady's name, she had made a comment about, well, maybe we need to assist Mother Earth in giving back her, helping her do a soul retrieval, helping Mother Earth do a soul retrieval. And I'm like, no, that's not ours to do. What's ours to do is to make sure that we heal ourselves and to pull back in any soul essence of things that have been lost through trauma, anything that's been traumatic to our nervous system. I don't need to name off anything. All of us have been going through it for quite, I don't know, what, 2, 3 years now? That's trauma. That's trauma essence that we need to pull our soul essence back into ourselves, wherever that trauma went. If it was due to the stress of almost losing your business, or trying to figure out how you're going to keep your business going, or how are you going to pay for your rent and your food, and keep your car and keep your family safe, and all of the fight or flight energy that we've all been dealing with. And then all of a sudden, you know, it just goes like, okay, so now what? We're at this motion, like, I'm sorry, I'm a vampire. I can't get in unless you give me permission. Okay? So here's the thing, and it's so true about that this energy that's out around us. It can't do anything unless you give it permission. Yeah, game on. If you give it permission, it has access to you. It has the fear going on. It has the, oh, we're going to have a fear. Now we're going to, give you as much fear as we can. But if you just stand in your divineness of who you are and you don't consent to it, it's a different ball game. I do not consent to any of the archon energy, whatever they're doing out there. I don't consent to it. If it is not divine, you do not pass. Point blank. Let that be your saying. I'm sorry. If you are not a part of the source of divine light, you do not pass. You do not have access. Period. Total game changer. Total game changer. There is so much going on with dimensional timelines right now. I can't even stress how important it is to really be present, to really be in your breath, to really know that it's almost like coming down the birth canal and there's crowning going on right now. There's the crowning. The crowning's happening. You're getting ready to push out through that womb and you're going to push out through there. There's a lot going on right now. But here's the thing. It all depends on what timeline are you choosing to align yourself with. Are you choosing to align yourself with the fear timeline, the drama timeline? Are you choosing that one? Are you choosing the one that deceives you? Are you choosing that one? Are you choosing to be 100% in your divine divinity self? Because that's where I am. I'm in it to win it. I'm ready to kick some serious booty. I figure I'm not going to just lay down and just let someone just have my essence. Forget it. No. You're going to have to dance with me. I will be the one that will win. Guaranteed. Yeah. I plan on getting 20, 25, 30, 40, 100 score points all across the dance floor. And so should you feel the same way. Because if you are a member of this tribe of be soul light, that's what we stand for. We are our light. We are our essence of who we are. We stand proudly in our light and our awakening state. We come in many different shells. And we stand firmly in our shells. We stand firmly in our light. So remember back in the day when we used to, before all this stuff happened, remember back in the day how you used to be able to go to the bank, boom, boom, boom. Remember back in the day how you used to be able to get on the phone, call your bank, and it was like that. Hi, how are you? Can I help you? Now you get crazy stuff like you're waiting on your bank thing for like, what, 20, 25 minutes, and it's crazy how long you're waiting online now to have a person to talk to about any kind of banking stuff. Yeah. So it's really interesting how this is all playing out. I mean, I'm about ready to just go ahead and get some new popcorn because I'm so excited. Mm, you know, some popcorn and some lemonade, a nice reclining chair. Yeah. So here's the thing. Pay attention, like I said before, going into your banks and stuff. Pay attention to that. And really, you know, just pay attention because you have to somewhere down the line see it for what it is and literally say, I do not consent to this. I do not consent to this energy. I do not consent to it. And when you say you don't consent to something, you mean you do not consent to it. Don't consent to the energy. Everything is energy. Just keep that in mind. Everything is energy right now. Everything. So don't consent to an energy that puts you into fear, that puts you into panic, that puts you into doubt. Stay in divine source, the God source energy, where you came from, how you were created. It's time to get your God force on. Remember who you are. It has nothing to do with religion at all. This is all about spirit. If you're dancing around in religion Gumby land, you're about to find out how serious it's going to get. This is all about spirit, your soul, divinity connection to source, to God. That's it. Period. Take out all the other stuff. It don't have nothing to do with that. That's just a belief that you want to have that you identify with. But really, when you look in the mirror, you should be looking at yourself and you see God right there, looking in the mirror. Because staying in your true divinity will help you navigate through these times right now. And staying off of third dimensional trauma land is where you have to consciously go. You have to get off of 3. Get off of it. Go higher into yourself. Go into that 5 and 6 and 7th and 8th and 9th dimensional self. Learn to connect with those higher realms, those higher planes, and work from there. I just choose not to believe anything of limitation. I choose not to believe it. I choose to know I have access to all the planes and the cosmos and go as I please and talk to anybody that I please to talk to up there. Unlimited. Because I call in the divine benevolent light and talk to that. Knowing the laws of the universe, how that works. Because when you're staying with benevolent, the other mini me's, lower beings, they can't go there. Wouldn't it be nice to know that you're on an elevator that can go all the way up, and then when you have the icky bickies that are trying to lower your frequency, you can automatically say, I'm sorry, this elevator is going all the way up to the 16th dimension. And because your frequency is so low, it has no love or anything involved in it. You're stuck on 3 and 4. I'm sorry, you have no access beyond that. Does that just give you goosebumps? To know that you can move up in those realms and they can't. That's why I can actually sit here with all of you, just give you that loving energy and just say, sit in it. Sit in this energy of superior soul, divineness of yourself. Because you have something they don't have. They cannot have. They will never have. Sit in that. They cannot go where we go because their frequency is too low. They have no soul. They do not know love. All they know is fear, pain, threatening, um, mind control stuff to hurt you. But when you shift your consciousness and you stay in that higher self, and you walk with, I don't have time for your fuckery. If you're gonna dance up on this, you better be prepared to fight because you have to stand in that. That's where all of us are gonna be in that divineness. Like, my light is so bright. I'd like to see you try. Let's go. They'll try all kind of things to bring your energy down, sabotaging your bank accounts, sabotaging you with friends and families, and the frequencies of the lower realm. And you know what's so sad? It's that these lower realms, even though they have no love and no feeling, they literally sit back and they're laughing at the chaos that they can cause in your life, in all of our lives. But it's how we maneuver through and how we stay in our high self. That's the antidote. See, here's the thing. When you know your own curriculum of who you are, you're able to move through. You're able to shine, become that light. You move through. But when you have your light too low and you're sedating yourself or whatever you do that makes you feel like you can't function in the world and it's too much for you, that's when you have to partner up with people who got their light going, and you just keep on moving. You don't have to do everything by yourself, but you have to trust yourself. And you have to trust source that lives within you and the connection to that divine source. So you have to trust all of that. So one of the things I thought that was really interesting with the gene key, and I was reading because on a galactic calendar on my computer, it says the gene key number 19. And I thought this was interesting as I was kind of just skimming through the chapter and I was looking at it. And on the back, it says gene key. Okay, this is the book. Book is kind of scary. And when I say that, I don't mean that literally. I mean, like, when you read it, there's so much in-depth truth to the written words in this book. It's like, dang, this is already unfolding. This is already happening. So there's this section that says the 9 portals of a planetary initiation. First there is the birth, then there's the baptism, then there's the confirmation, then there is the matrimony, then there's the annunciation, then there's the communion, then there is the ordination, then there is the sanctification, then there is the glorification. I'm like, wow. Mother Earth, or how I should look at it as daughter Earth, mother is the universe. She is going through a planetary initiation because she is going to be shining so brightly in this solar system. She's getting crowned because she's no longer locked down in her own, what they put us in eons and eons and eons ago, in quarantine. Planet Earth was quarantined eons and eons ago. Out in the universe, it was looked upon as the most densest planet. It has the lowest frequency because these things came and got onto our planet. Now, if you haven't seen the movie Moonfall, you need to watch that movie because Moonfall really, the last 30 minutes of the movie, I could care less about all the first part of it's good. It sets you up to kind of let you see what you're dealing with. But then the last part of the last 30 minutes of the movie hits you with the history, the information of our planet, of the things of our planets, and how we became. They say it right there. They say it right there. And then I've been watching the storyline of Vampire Diaries. I've been watching from beginning. I'm finishing up season 2 because it's on HBO, and I'm so glad. And I hope HBO brings the originals. They should be following it up with the originals because there are so much hidden things that they're saying in the show. And last night there was something said about the original people of the earth. They were here first. And it was said so quick, you had to catch it. And it was like, whoa, he just said that. So there was a lot of history of what they're dealing with in these different things of happening, of trying to solve the energy between the wolf and the werewolf. I mean, not the vampire and the werewolf. Excuse me. So trying to break the curse. They're trying to break it. So it's really interesting when you just pay attention to some of the things that are being said. A lot of hidden alchemy information is given. But when you're watching a show on just a regular diamond, you're just kind of in the flow. You want to see what's her name get her powers back. You want to see them finally get the moonstone and try to figure out what the heck is going on. Why, how did this curse come about? That only allows them. It's so interesting because you get to kind of look at the certain elements of certain things that's happening today. And it's just kind of like, even though it's written from a fantasy point of view, it's like, but there's so much truth to it, you know. So when I saw this gene key, I was like, I'm going through it and dissecting it, and I will come back on and talk about it because it's broken down into. I like this saying. It has little key points that it puts off on the side of the book. And it says right here, it says, as long as man believes in God outside himself, the frequency of our planet will remain at the level of the 19th shadow, which means as long as you keep thinking that you're not that godlike, as long as you keep doing that, it just stays the same. Somewhere along the line, we have to understand how beautiful we are, how gifted we are, how empowered we are, how divine creators we are. Somewhere along the line, we have to get this. We have to come out of our amnesia and awaken and be that rise phoenix. So to just see the written words in this, and it says on the next page, it goes, the higher frequency of the 19 gene key have access to the realms of magic. I'm all about magic. I'm all about, shifting into higher frequencies. That's what my work, Spiral Light, is all about. It's frequencies. Working with the light codes. Knowing that Spiral Light, the spiral, is the first initiative energy of creation. Yes. What a blessing to be able to work with people with this modality, to be the vessel, the conduit to allow this light to come in, and to work with people on this level. It's the most beautiful thing that I enjoy doing in my work. I've been on this planet for 56 years, but I've been coming here back and forth for quite a long time. I'm a very, very old soul. And I find myself sometimes when I'm walking through grocery stores and I'm thinking out loud, I say things like, this planet has got to evolve. I am just really shocked that when it keeps getting stuck and people passing by will hear me say things like that. So I just don't understand why I keep coming back to this planet and it's just not improving. Or now I can say, well, I'm really pleasantly surprised that in this journey back on this planet, things are really starting to change. I'm really liking how human beings, are really starting to level up. I love it. And I say it on purpose, just because that's how I'm thinking. The next part of this, off on the side of this, it says, our awareness is like a series of Russian dolls. As we make each leap in awareness, we come to realize we are housed within a wilder framework than we had previously understood. Yeah. I just love this book. First of all, when I first was introduced to this Gene Keys, and when I saw the book, because they got this in Mount Shasta, I was very intimidated by it because it was like, oh, it's a big book. Oh, this is stuff I never. Oh, how do I read this? How do I do this? And to really go through this book is like going through a lot of different portals, understanding how the universe is talking, understanding that there's this key, how it's moving us. Each time a key changes, each time a key is activated, how is it changing things for us? How is it moving us? You know, I think that is it's such a I want to really say thank you to Richard Root about putting this book together, because this is a deep book, and when you use it with the galactic calendar, I'm using this mainly with the one that I put on my computer because there's two different types, and following with the gene key and the runes and all of that information and putting it all together, it really does give you a layout of what the energy presentation of the day is. But main thing is, as long as we stay present in the present moment, this is how you create your future. Your future has not yet unraveled, has not yet been seen, except for if you stay present, you are therefore creating your future. And I love that. Love that, love that, love that. So I know it's been some time since I've been on. Um, I come on when spirit moves me to do it. You know, I think it's very interesting how everything is about to play out. I'm looking at popcorn for sure. So I just wanted to come on and share this. I am going to go through this and read a little bit because it is quite lengthy to read through it. But when I was picking it up, and I was like, whoa, this is kind of crazy. And it's just talking about the gift is sensitivity, but the shadow is the codependency. What are we dependent on? Think about that. What are you dependent on? Mm, mm, all this stuff. You're dependent on these things. Oh, what are you dependent on? What is that? What are you dependent on? And if it all was to just stop, kind of like the Twilight Zone, where everything just kind of stopped. There was no transaction and nothing was going on, nothing. It was all done. It's just stopped. What would you do? How would you be? Friend and I, we talked about it. We go back to the barter system, you know, to do things. Those of us that are healers, we got it made in the shade. Our work and what we do, energetic work, how to help the body heal itself and whatever, we got it made in shade. Easy barter. You got something going on? Okay, I can help you. Let's work through it. But the main thing right now that needs to be healed more than anything is that emotional trauma energy. A lot of it is coming up. And I'm seeing some of it come up in people that I personally know that are friends of mine that I know. And I'm watching it comes out because I'll catch certain words that they say really quick that are negative, that are very low vibrational, you know. And it makes me sit there and say, wow, why would you say something like that? Is that where your frequency is? Is that how you really think? Why would you say something color comparing in such a negative way? Why would you do that? Or, why would you say something so, how do I put it, like hurtful, but you say it really quick? So that right there just tells me right there your stuff is coming up. Your real energy of stuff that you stuff down and how you hide it is coming up. You can't hide it no more. Then again, maybe it's been there the whole time. And it's just there. you know. So a lot of people are losing their relationships with others. Whether they're married, their, relationships are coming undone because everybody's evolving. And the relationships have to be honored where you were with them. Friends come and go depending on what level. What were you learning from that person when you met them? There's a lot. There's a lot going on with that energy. So everyone pay attention. Pay attention to yourselves. Pay attention if you need to get rid of some shadow stuff that's in you and you need to heal it. Pay attention to the fact that you might have some hijacking friends on you that might be messing with you in your auric field. Because if you didn't deal with your anger, your frustration, this is why this gene key is so important. You didn't deal with all that. It's sitting in your auric field. It's bringing that energy in. Think about it. Just saying. You know, yeah, I strongly feel that things are about to get really interesting. Like I said, I am really practicing with my hair. I want to become that oracle. You know, hmm, the one in the matrix. Yes. Oh, that. Would you like a cookie? So, before I close out, went by Home Goods, and I love going by Home Goods during this time of the year. And I thought it was really interesting because we walk into Home Goods and they have all the Halloween stuff out. But here's the thing. I want you to pay attention to all the stores you go to. Michael's, Home Goods, Big Lots, your grocery stores, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, even Barnes and Noble. Pay attention to all these corporational deity departments. Okay, boxes. Look at how Solara came in right when I was saying that. Pay attention to it because look at the theme that they're presenting. Now, I'm totally all about magic, the study of mysticism, because knowing those things, that's a part of me. You know, I don't have a problem with it. I don't linger in anything of dark Luciferian satanic stuff. That's no, that's not my cup of tea. Um I love anything that's with Halloween. I love anything that's with, that magical time of the year. I love that stuff because I understand it. I know what it is. But I find it very interesting how gnomes are coming in. Now, gnomes came in about maybe 2 or 3 years ago. They had a gnome thing going on. It kind of was in a little bit, it wasn't. But gnomes are really big, and skulls are really big this year. And then the third eye, like this one, third eye is really big. I mean, just bigger than daylight. It's kind of interesting because, when you've been on this planet for quite some time, you kind of know how everything starts to work. You pay attention to it. And I'm just looking at it and I'm like, wow, look at all the and Home Goods, I was shocked because normally they just take one aisle section and they just put all the Halloween stuff. Home Goods in Rockland, every corner in, they had so many Halloween blankets, different styles. That was just crazy. And it makes me wonder, are we really having a lot of recession and inflation and unable to get certain things? Are we really having that, or is it really basically being designed for another reason? Because these stores are stocking up. I mean, they are getting their stuff out. They are ready to start, people shopping and getting ready for the holidays and, third dimensional moving about. Now, what if all this comes to a screeching halt? Just saying. But I love them. Always have, always will. I don't, I just look at it as it's a time between the worlds. Hmm. We live among the spirits. We live in their world. They're around us. We're in their world. The spirit. The spirits walk around us all the time, in and out of our space. You know. So Halloween is going to be very interesting this year because the theme of the energy of how they're presenting it. And remember, you can always change the energy of anything. It does not have to represent anything that's a negative. It can always be a positive. That's what I do. I have it all flipped for positive energy. Using it, it's all about your intent and purpose. What are you using it for? Decor. People love to dress up and get the Halloween fun. Get out of it. It gives you a chance to kind of become something, be something, just for a day. Some of us are that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all year round. Not kidding. Yeah, kind of kidding. Yes, please. What do? What do? What do? What do? So, just saying, pay attention when you walk in. Take a look and see how they're really loading up these stores and the skulls. Now, a lot of people would probably be tripping out when you see a lot of the skulls, and when you see skulls, you see death, you see darkness, you see but skulls. If you're someone that works with ancestral medicine and you're doing ancestral healing, and you have skulls all around you, that's what you came here to do. You're working with the past energy. You're working with skull energy. You're working with ancestral energy. And there's nothing wrong with that. That needs to just be respected and honored. Skull is also the representation of how we hold our thoughts, clarity, the flow of that. Just saying. So just pay attention to that. Kind of interesting. All right, lovelies. I just wanted to come on here and share something with you about the gene key and how interesting everything is about to become. Yeah, interesting time right about now. Yeah, I feel like anything that is not of the highest divine light. All right. Everyone be good to themselves and, take the time to just breathe. Just breathe. Just just breathe in, just breathe. All right. It's going to get interesting. Just shine your light. Be so light. And that's a wrap. Four, three, two, one. Bye.